The Hebrew Bible, the five books of Moses. Genesis, chapter 25. And Abraham took another wife, and her name was Keturah. And she bore him Zimran, and Jokshan, and Medan, and Midian, and Ishbak, and Shua. And Jokshan begat Sheba and Dedan. And the sons of Dedan were the Ashurim, and the Letushim, and the Leumim. And the sons of Midian were Apath, and Epher, and Enoch, and Abidah, and Eldah. All these were the sons of Keturah. And Abraham gave everything he had to Isaac. And the sons of Abraham's concubines Abraham gave gifts while he was still alive, and sent them away from Isaac, his son, eastward to the land of the east. And these are the days of the years of the life of Abraham which he lived, 175 years. And Abraham breathed his last and died at a ripe old age, old and sated with years. And he was gathered to his kinfolk. And Isaac and Ishmael, his sons, buried him in the Machpelah cave in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar the Hittite, which faces Mamre, the field that Abraham had bought from the Hittites. There was Abraham buried, and Sarah his wife. And it happened after Abraham's death that God blessed Isaac his son, and Isaac settled near Beer-lahai-roi. And this is the lineage of Ishmael, son of Abraham, whom Hagar the Egyptian, Sarah's slave girl, bore to Abraham. And these are the names of the sons of Ishmael according to their lineage: Nebaioth, the firstborn of Ishmael, and Kedar, and Abdil, and Mibsam, and Mishma, and Duma, and Massa, and Hadad, and Tema, Jetur, and Naphish, and Kedma. These are the sons of Ishmael, and these are their names and their habitations and their encampments, 12 chieftains according to their tribes. And these are the years of the life of Ishmael, 137 years. And he breathed his last and died, and he was gathered to his kinfolk. And they ranged from Havilah to Shur, which faces Egypt, until you come to Ashur. And despite of all his kin he went down. And this is the lineage of Isaac, son of Abraham. Abraham begat Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he took his wife Rebekah, a daughter of Bethuel and Arameam, from Padan Aram, sister of Laban and Aramean. And Isaac pleaded with the Lord on behalf of his wife, for she was barren. And the Lord granted his plea, and Rebekah his wife conceived. And the children clashed together within her, and she said, "Then why me?" And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations in your womb, two peoples from your loins shall issue. People over people shall prevail, the elder the younger slave." And when her time was come to give birth, look, there were twins in her womb. And the first one came out ruddy, like a hairy mantle all over, and they called his name Esau. Then his brother came out, his hand grasping Esau's heel, and they called his name Jacob. And Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. And the lads grew up, and Esau was a man skilled in hunting, a man of the field, and Jacob was a simple man, a dweller in tents. And Isaac loved Esau for the game that he brought him, but Rebekah loved Jacob. And Jacob prepared a stew when Esau came from the field, and he was famished. And Esau said to Jacob, "Let me gulp down some of this red bread stuff, for I am famished." Therefore is his name called Edom. And Jacob said, "Sell now your birthright to me." And Esau said, "Look, I am at the point of death, so why do I need to birthright?" And Jacob said, "Swear to me now." And he swore to him. And he sold his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau bread and lentil stew. And he ate and he drank, and he rose and he went off, and Esau spurned the birthright. Chapter 26. And there was a famine in the land besides the former famine that was in the days of Abraham. And Isaac went to the Abimelech king of the Philistines in Gerar. And the Lord appeared unto him and said, Do not go down to Egypt. Stay in the land that I shall say to you. Sojourn in this land so that I may be with you and bless you. For to you and your seed I will give all these lands, and I will fulfill the oath that I wrote to Abraham your father, and I will multiply your seed like the stars in the heavens, and I will give to your seed all these lands, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed through your seed, because Abraham has listened to my voice and has kept my charge, my commandments, my statutes, and my teachings. And Isaac dwelled in Gerar, and the man of the place asked of his wife, and he said, She is my sister, fearing to say my wife, lest the man of the place kill me over Rebekah, for she is comely to look at. And it happened at this time that drew on, and the Abimelech king of the Philistines looked out of the window and saw, and there was Isaac playing with Rebekah his wife. And Abimelech summoned Isaac, and he said, Why, look, she is your wife, and how could you say she is my sister? And Isaac said to him, For I thought, lest I die over her. And Abimelech said, What is this you have done to us? One of the people might well have lain with your wife, and you would have brought guilt upon us. And Abimelech commanded all the people, saying, Whosoever touches this man or his wife is doomed to die. And Isaac sought in that land, and he helped, and he reaped that year 100-fold. And the Lord blessed him, and the man became over greater until he was very great. And he had possessions of flocks and of herds and many slaves, and the Philistines envied him. And all the wells that his father's servants had dug in the days of Abraham his father, the Philistines blocked up, filling them with earth. And Abimelech said to Isaac, Go away from us, for you have grown far too powerful for us. And Isaac went off from there and encamped in the Wadi of Gerar, and he dwelled there. And Isaac dug anew the well of water that had been dug in the days of Abraham his father, which the Philistines had blocked up after Abraham's death. And he gave the names like the names of his father had called them. And Isaac's servants dug in the wadi, and they found there a well of fresh water. And the shepherds of Gerar quarreled with Isaac, shepherds, saying, The water is ours. And he called the name of the well Esek, for they had contended with him. And they dug another well, and they quarreled over it too, and he called its name Sitnah. And he pulled up stakes from there and dug another well, and they did not quarrel over it, and he called its name Rehoboth. And he said, For now the Lord has given us space that we may be fruitful in the land. And he went up from there to Beersheba, and the Lord appeared unto him on that night and said, I am the God of Abraham your father. Fear not, for I am with you, and I will bless you, and I will multiply your seed for the sake of Abraham, my servant. And he built an altar there, and he invoked the name of the Lord, and he pitched his tent there, and Isaac's servant began digging a well there. And Abimelech came to him from Gerar with Ahuzat, and with his counselor, and Pichol, captain of his troops. And Isaac said to them, Why have you come to me when you have been hostile toward me and have sent me away from you? And they said, We have clearly seen that the Lord is with you, and we thought, Let there be an oath between our two sides, between you and us, and let us seal a pact with you, that you will do no harm to us, just as we have not touched you, and just as we have done toward you only good, sending you away in peace. Be your hands be blessed of the Lord. And he made them a feast, and they ate and drank. And they rose early in the morning and swore to each other, and Isaac sent them away, and they went from him in peace. And it happened on that day that Isaac's servants came to and told him of the well they had dug. And they said to him, We have found water. And he called it Sheba. Therefore the name of the town bears Sheba to this day. And Esau was 40 years old, and he took as wife Judith, daughter of Beeri the Hittite, and Basemath, and the daughter of Elon the Hittite, and they were a provocation to Isaac and to Rebekah.